It's just gossip. Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note. And they say that Juan went and hid it. We heard about that in court today. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note. Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Juan, that is. Something bad for Mr. Corrida. Why do you figure so? Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. And she said, it looks like I got caught up with a truly insidious man. A truly insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Corrida by that? Well, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? And that would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note. I see. Well, that's some good info, thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Engarde and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. There's still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. Mr. Nick, your phone! I wonder if Mr. Powers appreciates that I have this ringtone. Hey, that's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? He appreciates. I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. It sounds kind of ominous. Yeah, I know. Hello? We're in trouble now, pal! Oh, I'll be back at the office really soon. What's wrong? Something really unexpected just happened. Mr. Edgeworth, Edgeworth? Anyway, hurry up and get back to the office, pal. I don't know what's going on anymore. It's no good. The end. Hello? He got cut off. What's going on, Mr. Nick? Gumshoe said we need to go back to the office right away. Then we should hurry back. I'm scared to go back. What are you talking about, Mr. Nick? Pull yourself together. Maybe it'll be good news. Nope. Somehow, I doubt that. So we were told to investigate Andrews and Engarde. We got nowhere. We came to the police station, stumbled on Powers. We talked about gossip. And then suddenly serious mode. March 22, Wright & Co. Law Offices. What took you so long, pal? Mr. Edgeworth couldn't stick around forever and had to go. I mean, we were gossiping. Well, what happened? We got him! We know who bought that spy camera. Hey! This quickly? And this bear is what gave them away, pal. The bear? I figured it out, pal. No, you didn't. I figured that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera. But wasn't it Mr. Edgeworth that figured? Shh, pals. And go on. There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime. Who is it? Who would be so rude as to spy on another person in their room? Matt Engarde. Huh? Matt Engarde, your client, that's who, pal. And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Are you sure you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was... I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. This is the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for 3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear. A receipt? That's all you have? Nah, it's not just the receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me I'm sure I sold the bear to Mr. Engarde. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Engarde's autograph out of it, pal. So I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Engarde himself. My sight is failing me. This can't be. Credit card receipt added to the court record. A receipt for 3,800. Proof Engarde bought a stuffed bear identical to the one in evidence. So what about the spy camera we found? Ah, that was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you for you to file away into evidence. Oh, good. Spy camera, transmitter, and stuffed bear refilled into the court record. I know you don't want to give up, pal. I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Juan Corrida's room was Matt Engarde. Why would Mr. Engarde do something like this? I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Corrida in one of their rendezvous. I bet it's not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera. Are you going to see him, Mr. Engarde, I mean? Yes. I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we will find out next. I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for pearls. Matt Engarde, what in the world have you done? I need to ask Matt about Celeste. Shouldn't the cops be at Engarde's house now? No. No, they shouldn't. Why would they be doing something that makes sense? Can I ask you about stuff? Not stuffed bear. Celeste? That's Juan's former manager, right? Celeste Impacts, she was with Global Studios for a while way back when. But some things happened and she ended up moving over to Worldwide Studios. Some things, as in... Well, there was no one left around who knows the details, you know. Only rumors are left now. Okay. I think I need to ask Engarde about Celeste. Oh, there he is. You're working really late, you know. It's already past 10 PM, dude. I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax, don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. Okay. Can I ask you about... her? Mr. Engarde? Dude, I know I asked you to be my lawyer and all, but I don't think I have to tell you anything and everything. It just means I don't have to tell you everything, dude. Okay, so I need to unlock his nonsense. Let's assume that I have enough to unlock his nonsense. Matt's secret! Now let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Corrida had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? I told you before, dude, I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but... I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on, I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Corrida, especially on that night. It's the bear? The spy camera or the bear? I don't know which one the game wants me to present first. Okay, the camera. Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Corrida's room the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then send the images the camera took with this transmitter. Wow, but dude, where was this camera you're talking about hidden? The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye! A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. I guess Juan had a few of those kinds of fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. You sure, dude? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Corrida was... Mr. Engarde, don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Oh, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did the bear tell you? He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Engarde. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first? Here's proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. Oh, why is this so complicated? I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. Engarde. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Dude, all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, okay? This $3,800, it could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush! It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair for bristles. Wait, you're smuggling ivory? You're killing elephants? Ew, elephant hair. Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yes? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is, of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm going to find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Corrida's room and filmed it in secret is... Oh, wait. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Corrida's room and filmed it in secret is... Isn't it to make sure the assassin did his job? I think it's this, I'm not sure though. What is that card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelly the Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelly the Killer. That's ridiculous! Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? How do you know he's a shady scumbag if you don't know him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Engarde, I know why you know Mr. the Killer. It's because you are his client. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So how would you know something like that? It's because you're his client, that's why. You hired Shelly the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Corrida. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, Matt Engarde. Sigh. And here I was trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought. Anyway, yeah, you thought wrong, dumbass. The whole point of a trial is to get to the truth, and if you lie, you're gonna get in trouble. Mr. Engarde, you really did hire? Hold on a sec. I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt Engarde. Where'd you get that glass from? Where'd you get that from? Mad secret. Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You really... So you are Shady the Killer's client. You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you? Well, I mean, you did dirty your own hands in this. You bought the... I've connected you. I've figured it out. You have dirtied yourself. What do you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself. Trying to stick the crime on me, I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead, isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? No, that's not right. You're lying! What a terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on, and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. But why? Why did you hide the video camera and... A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. He knew about Miss Andrews' secret. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Do you believe yourself? Nani? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed above their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? Nothing, because you're going to go to prison for the rest of your life. And that's why... Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay, even blackmail him if I want. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl? It's because he's stupid, that's why. Why? Why would you kill Mr. Corridor? Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? Yeah, well, now you're in a bigger scandal than before. This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? If Mr. Corridor had been able to give it, then Mr. Engarde's secret would have... Ah, well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know. I had no interest in doing it really, but bit by bit it crept upon me. And then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Corridor ended up dead. Let me tell you something, I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Yeah, you're gonna be thrown away. That's right, Engarde. Put on a sweet innocent face and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it, the assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Except I'm here now. Engarde. How can anyone be so smug? Right after they've been found out, and they are in prison. He's in prison. He's been found out. How is he still smug? What kind of idiot is that? Absolute stupid. Everyone all working their butts off for me, Matt Engarde. Oh, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? Were we deceived by him? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Corridor. No, he said he didn't. He said he didn't kill Juan Corridor. Because... And you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone. Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that the killer guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a catnap in my room. You killed Mr. Corridor. No, he didn't kill Mr. Corridor. Phoenix! Why is everyone so stupid in this story? Who wrote this story? Ah ha ha ha, I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Grr. Oh, but too bad you can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? Sure I can. You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? Oh, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do. Mr. Meyer! You wouldn't want to test the killer. He's a man of his words, or so I hear. I mean, but you're betraying him. You would end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You! Scoundrel! So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this! That's such a cliche phrase. One says something just like that if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how well things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. Good night. This is so stupid. He's in prison, we're not. Let's go talk to that butler. Maya, what am I supposed to do? Go talk to the butler. Tell him Man Engarde's gonna turn on him. And now you finally found it. The starting line of this case. Hey, Edgeworth. Edgeworth! I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. March 22, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Well, Wright, what are you gonna do? If you plan on changing your strategy... No! We can't do that. That's right, he's holding Maya hostage. What? What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth! Right, only you can decide where to go from here. God damn it, why are we not searching his house? We know he taped the murder. We know he bought the bear. Why are we not turning his house inside out? 1 year ago at that time I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Wright, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. No, you don't need to find it on your own. You can tell me, Edgeworth. It's not that dramatic. Engarde, I am a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer. Engarde, that man is really... It doesn't matter who, every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Sure. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense? But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Sigh, ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you have fought for your clients up until now? I mean, I wouldn't have, but the storyteller, the guy writing the story, yes. Well, that may be true, but that's because I've believed my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get Engarde an acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. Are you kidding me? But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right, would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes, we're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? You're a defense attorney, you can't run away from that. You can only fight, that's all you can do. This is so... Come on! The guy writing this dialogue is just so full of himself. Right? He thinks he's so clever, even though none of it makes sense. And then he gets into this, oh, we're aspirational defense lawyer, we're just human, but we do heroic things. Yeah, bro, okay. Okay, it's not that dramatic. People like you and Franziska von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. Franziska, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all. And isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You are so petty! I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. What do you... Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record are meaningless. Nani? I don't believe you. Are you saying that's why you left the prosecutor's office? Yeah, that's it, Phoenix. It's not that hard. It's not that hard and it's not that amazing. It's not that profound. But then why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. He's here because he's a prosecutor. It's what he does. It doesn't matter if he has a perfect record or not, he's a prosecutor, so he prosecutes. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you'll be powerless to change the ending of this story.